Hi, Mike here. You're watching Yukon Scout Restoration. My objective is to create a series of videos documenting the restoration of a 1966 International Scout 800 to Concours condition. I will show all the details. Unfortunately, I've already finished the bodywork and did not shoot any video of the process. However, I did take some photos and I have created a slideshow highlighting some of the work that I did on the Scout before I started making videos. I hope you like it. This Red Scout 80 is a future project. It has the typical floorboard rust, but the rest of it is good solid metal with a lot of dents. And everything's there. There are no parts missing. My Black Scout 80 was previously camperized. It's quite rusty and has a lot of body filler on it, but everything is still there. The previous owner did a lot of work on the engine before they parked it many years ago. Both Scout 80s have the 152 slant 4 Comanche engine, which is actually half a 304 V8. They have a 3-speed transmission and a Dana 20 2-speed transfer case. In the future, I may make one Scout out of the two. This is my current project. The previous owner had a second parts Scout from which he cut out some oversized patches and riveted them onto this Scout 800. The travel top side windows are 3/8 of an inch thick tempered glass. The previous owner needed a piece of glass, so we salvaged the smaller glass from his parts Scout and cut out the lower window frame metal to create another overlapping patch to accommodate the smaller glass. It is not possible to dolly and heat shrink these panels. So I cut them out, dollied them, welded a lip in the hole, and welded them back in. This technique worked very well for me. I just had to be very careful not to get it too hot and distort the metal. I used compressed air to cool it. I was able to dolly and heat shrink the top corner. These oversized patches were a real bonus. I removed them, welded a lip on the inside of the hole, then cut them down to size and welded them in place. I achieved this with virtually no distortion. The driver's side floor needed a new crossmember and a patch in the middle. On the passenger side, I cut out the whole floor and welded in new cross members and a new floor pan. I cut out the rust on both sides of the box and welded in new metal. The bed was surprisingly rust-free. However, it had some dents that I managed to dolly out using a hydraulic jack and a dolly with a short pipe welded to it. The previous owner removed the body and did a good job of painting underneath the Scout. Unfortunately, this is not an original Scout color. The paint is very hard. Sandpaper won't even scratch it, and some of the prep work was not good. I was advised to not try to paint over it. So I made the decision to strip the entire Scout down to bare metal. Because the sandblasting option is expensive and can warp and damage body panels, I took on the monumental task of stripping by hand using a dual-action air sander, an angle grinder, die grinders, Dremels, drills, and by hand. With paint stripping wheels, sandpaper, steel wool, sanding drums, wire brush attachment, and whatever else worked. Once again, the trick was not to get the metal too hot. Someone had mounted a spare tire in the center of the roof. It took me 3 months of dollying and heat shrinking to fix this roof. Oil canning is a condition that can occur with sheet metal. It's when you push on a body panel with your finger and it pops in. Then, when you remove your finger, it pops out again. It does this because the metal has been stretched, so there's too much metal. The solution is to shrink the metal. Using an oxyacetylene torch with a small brazing tip, a dolly, and a shrinking hammer, I eliminated all of the oil canning. Next, I wiped everything down with wax and grease remover. I used paper towels and repeatedly wiped with new towels until they came away clean. Then I applied 3 coats of CRE 321 epoxy primer to both sides of everything. This is a professional primer with strong adhesion, high build, and corrosion resistance. Next, I used Napa Gold body filler where needed. From 1960 to 1980, International built 532,674 Scouts. Approximately 3,000 Scout 800s were built in late 1965 using leftover Scout 80 parts. I call these Transition 800s. The true 800 came out in 1966 with the 152 Comanche engine or optional 196 or 232 V8. I then applied 3 coats of Super Build 4:1 Ultra High Build Polyester Primer Surfacer. Later on, most of that got sanded off. For all the seams, I used Worth Bond and Seal Elastic Polyurethane Adhesive. For final finish and paint, I hauled the Scout to Adam at Blue Diamond Refinishing in Whitehorse, Yukon. According to the line setting ticket, the original paint was 1503 Malibu Beige, but I chose another original color, 5683 Aspen Green Metallic for the body and 9120 Alpine White for the travel top, wheels, and bumpers. I have stored all the body parts in my 53-foot dry van until I have restored everything to Concours condition. The window on the travel top is back to its original size, and the glass on my Scout 80s will fit. Next week, I will post a walk-around video of the Scout 800 painted. I will detail some of the upcoming work and videos. It's my mission to post a video once a week showing all the details of the restoration. You, the viewer, can help Yukon Scout restoration happen by liking and subscribing. Mike Morrow, over and out.